Well, we're starting with mole. It's a traditional Mexican sauce. It's jam-packed with spices and loads of flavor. And to show us how to make it is Martin Carrera. He's the owner of La Veracruzana in Northampton and Amherst.
Yes, thank you again for having me again on the show. Yes, we're going to start off with mole. Mole is a traditional sauce from the region of where the reason why we celebrate Cinco de Mayo, and that's because it's called the Battle of Puebla. In the city of Puebla, there was this big battle where the Mexican forces defeated the French and started the process of taking the French out of Mexico.
And that's why we celebrate Cinco de Mayo.
And mole is traditionally in Puebla. There's always this controversy that mole is also from Oaxaca, but they just like to argue.
Oh.
So we start though with a lot of ingredients that you normally don't see in Mexican food. I see on this plate we have some cinnamon, we have chocolate.
You have some raisins, you have cumin, you have bay leaves, you have oregano, you have capers, pepper and capers, and onions, chile chipotle, chile ancho, chile guajillo, and chile mulato.
So there are a lot of ingredients that go into mole.
All these nuts, yes there is, all these nuts, okay? A little bit of toasted bread, some fried plantains, and grilled onions.
So all of that goes into one sauce?
Yeah, all of that and some chicken stock.
Now if you're making it at home and maybe you don't have all these ingredients, can you do a simpler sauce maybe? Or do you need it all to get that real taste?
No, if you're going to make the mole from scratch, you need all of this, you know? And there's different recipes out there for mole poblano, but you need to, someone asked me how long does it take? I said, well, it takes a lot of love.
There you go.
Not time, but love.
Yeah, exactly.
And so do you have to go to specialty stores to get most of this stuff, or can you find it at your regular grocery store?
You can find it at regular, most of this chili is hard to come by, but the rest of them are pretty easy to come by. And yes, you can get cinnamon sticks everywhere, raisins, the Mexican chocolate, garlic, and so the ingredients aren't hard to find. You know, it's just a matter, or if not, you can go, there's different, Latin American markets that you can find those things.
Okay.
You know, your pumpkin seeds and your...
the international aisle of supermarkets, I'm sure, has a lot of it too. But let's start sizzling up some chicken because that is an important part of today too.
Exactly.
Because you need something to put your mole on.
Yeah, exactly. I personally love my mole with chicken. And I love how the sauce has chocolate in it. I'm such a chocolate girl that I just, adding it in a sauce is just the cherry on top.
Yes, and so that's how we begin. And after this cooks for a little while, and we'll put some mole on top, and then we'll serve a nice little traditional plate of pechuga de pollo con mole, chicken breast with mole, with a little bit of rice and beans and some guacamole and some different salsas. So, you might want to keep away from that mango sauce there, Seth.
Is it really hot?
That's the one that's hot, That's
remember, last time you were here, I think you tricked me into trying a spicy one.
I did.
And I'm in trouble.
And so that and a little pico de gallo. So there's,
It's all fresh looking here, by the way. It's all fresh ingredients, but it's
delicious.
It seems like, tomatoes aren't that expensive, and a lot of these things aren't that expensive. So you can make really healthy, really inexpensive fresh salsas. Guacamole and all that.
I mean, this pico de gallo is just, fresh tomatoes, onions, a little bit of jalapeno, and lemon juice. You want fresh squeezed lemon or fresh squeezed lime. Don't get the stuff at the bottled store. Just
just make it yourself. It's that easy.
Exactly.
And I think making it yourself tastes so much better. And when you're eating it, you're like, I made this. And you can feel proud.
Yeah, it's a sense of accomplishment.
Exactly.
And now, Martin, what are these? Are these plantains we have over here?
Yep, plátano frito.
Plátano frito?
You want to buy the plantains. Sometimes they're really green, so you have to wait until they ripen. But once they ripen, that's when you want to fry them. So you got to wait till, not to the point of where they're black, but where they're nice and getting there, and then they turn out that way, but they have to be right.
Well, Martin, thanks for the history lesson. Thanks for teaching us how to make mole. I'm going to let you do your thing for a while so that we can come back and eat in a little bit. Thank you so much for stopping by today. So we're going to finish up this recipe, maybe add some more a little later in the show. But mole with Martin Carrera.
Hey, how we doing?
Martin?
Good to have you guys back.
Hello.
So since we left you, you were sautéing the chicken in this?
I did, and then I added the mole sauce to it. Okay, and so here we have some chicken breast. You can also add like boneless thighs and stuff. When my mom made mole, she would actually cook the chicken in the mole, but then it would be with legs and the bone.
Like the whole chicken in the mole.
Does that give it a different flavor?
It gives it a different flavor, but I like it at the restaurant boneless because it's easier to eat and it's not when it has the bone. it can be, get pretty dirty, you know?
That's true, yeah. You need extra napkins when you're eating things like that.
Exactly.
So
now we're gonna plate up a little bit for you guys, you know?
And do you serve this with tortillas, or
you
how
serve
is
this with tortillas? Tortillas and with rice and beans, you know? Take a little bit of...
And there's some plantains, there's pico de gallo over here, there's some guacamole. How do you make your guacamole? Because it always tastes so good.
The guacamole is just fresh avocado.
Okay.
And tomatoes, onions, and salt to taste, and fresh squeezed lime juice.
So not a lot of spices. Maybe that's my mistake. Whenever I make guacamole, I put way too many spices on it.
No.
I think sometimes simple foods taste the best.
Exactly.
Yeah, you gotta let the food do the talking.
You can't make it too complicated. And
see, that's my mistake.
There you go.
Oh,
and yes,
look at that.
I forgot the tortillas, but that's what you would have on the side. Tortillas, or a nice, in Spanish we call them bolillos, which are like, those are bolillos. And so they make smaller ones, and you also have, we also eat it with bread.
So it would be kind of like a mole sandwich?
No, you'd eat the bread.
Like a dip.
Oh, I see. You dip it.
Or you take a bite, and then you take a bite of the bread.
Could I make a sandwich out of it?
You could make a sandwich, but then that would be a torta.
Oh, I didn't know.
There you go. Yeah, and we make that's what we use. Also, that bread is to make our tortas, which are traditional Mexican sandwiches. And a little bit of beans, a little bit of guacamole, some chicken, some lettuce, tomato, and that's...
Now, Martin, how do you celebrate Cinco de Mayo?
How do I celebrate Cinco de Mayo?
Or are you just working? Working through it. And for people who didn't join us earlier, tell us a little bit about the history of this holiday.
Well, the history of this holiday is the battle, what's called the Battle of Puebla, La Batalla de Puebla. And there was a time, due to some conflict in Mexico, that France, Napoleon sent an emperor to rule over Mexico, and that was Maximilian. And so the forces of Benito Juarez, who was the president at that time, started to organize and started battling the French. And in the first battle that they won was the Battle of Puebla, and on Cinco de Mayo. And so that's why a lot of people confuse Cinco de Mayo with the Independence Day. But that's not...
two separate holidays.
Two separate holidays. Our Independence Day is the 16th of September, 16th of September. And that's when Padre Hidalgo and the city of Dolores Hidalgo gave out the cry at midnight that we should seek independence from Spain.
Martin, thank you so much for teaching us this.
Thank you.
For the food and the history lesson.
Dinner and a show. Thanks so much.